Okay, good morning, everyone. We are now up to Practice Mishna Vav, and today's learning is dedicated in memory of Ephraim ben Moshe Aryeh, dedicated by Rochelle and Burton Goldner. Okay, Practice Mishna Vav. Hamalaket asavim lachim at shivash hamasik. Again, discussion continues about the mitzvah of beer, where we say that when something is not available in the field for the wild animals, so then what we have stored in our house of that species has to be taken out. So now the mission is Hamalaket asavim lachim, one who collects moist grasses. Moist grasses. These doesn't say here exactly what these grasses are used for. We'll see soon what some learn about these fresh grasses. But one who collects fresh grasses is allowed to eat from them and doesn't have to be concerned about beer until Yeshivash Hamasik, which means until the moisture dries up. That means one may use fresh grasses without apprehension that their beer time has arrived until the moisture of the Shemitah winter rains has dried up. The moisture of the winter rains has dried up. That's the point that we say you have to stop eating the grasses. Now, we always say that beer depends on whether something's available for the animals in the wild. Apparently, in this case, we don't talk about it like that. We don't say, the grasses, we don't just say, well, when they're not available, the grasses for the animals, that's when the beer happens. And it's possible that this is because the exact time that grasses become unavailable is unknown. Grasses grow on many different places, hidden places, and the animals can forage on it wherever it may be. So we don't really have a way of seeing whether they are available or not. And therefore, the Mishnah gave us an indication. I mean, this time you should assume that they're gone. What time is that? Ad sheyivash hamasik, which means once the moisture of the Shemitah rains has dried up, then already you have to assume that these fresh grasses are not available for the animals in the wild either. But megabi v'yavesh, what if you're collecting dry grasses? You can continue using those dry grasses until the second rainfall. Now, these dry grasses, right away, it sounds like, well, it doesn't say what kind of grasses they are, but we see from the Mefarshim, the commentaries here, that there's a question. I mean, if we're talking about grasses, then the grasses should all be the same species. So why are we saying that the fresh ones depend on this time, the dry ones depend on that time? Shouldn't they all be the same thing? So the commentaries explain that the fresh grasses are for human consumption and the dry ones are for animals. Thus, they're considered two different species. Their use is categorizing them as different species. That's why they each have their own time for beer. Rash suggests, commentary on Rash suggests, the dry ones mentioned here refers to twigs, not grasses. The twigs are something that is different. They are something that is different. And therefore, they have different times. Now, what does it mean the Yeshua and a second rainfall? So the explanation is that in Eretz Yisrael, the rains are restricted to a definite rainy season, which runs from autumn through winter. In the time of the Mishnah, that's how it ran. It had a set season. It ran from autumn through winter. After this, time for the second rain is an average between 20 and 30 days of our March Hashman. Okay, so right. So the 20 and 30 March Hashman is when the second rain comes, the middle rain comes. There's three rain periods. The second rain period takes place. Is typically the 20-30. Sometimes the second rain is on average the 20 or 30 day of Rosh Hashanah. So if at that point, that is when we say the dry grass is available for the animals, and therefore you cannot have beer on them. Right? So that's what we're talking about grasses. I'm going to make fun. means the leaves of the reeds and the leaves of grapevines. Okay. Here again means fresh ones. You can eat them until they fall off from their branches. Meaning, if you collect these fresh leaves, the fresh leaves are again going to be considered not you can eat them, not be concerned about here, as long as there are still fresh leaves left on trees. If there are no more leaves left on the trees, that's considered unavailable for the animals, and you can eat from them. Now, when one collects dry leaves, Mishna, here too, you keep them without concerning beer until the second rainfall. Here too, we need to explain what is the difference about the dry ones and the fresh ones. Again, it's the same leaves. We're talking about the leaves of the reeds, the leaves of the grapevines, it's the same leaves. Here too, the answer is some leaves for fresh leaves, while others eat only dry ones. Therefore, you have to bear times for farms of one species. Okay, some animals are fresh ones. So you have fresh leaves, fresh leaf animal. The leaves that the fresh leaves that certain animals eat, and only that available for them anymore. The dry leaves are again specific to certain animals, and once I say that once that second rain falls, they're not available for those animals anymore. They're there for your time for that second rain. But although they're literally the same species, same thing, the fact that again they are eaten by certain animals eat fresh kinds. Only certain animals only eat dry kinds. Therefore, they have to become your times. The Adam brings down here. Sometimes it brings down. Obviously, it's not permissible to fresh leaves past the deadline. The intent that they be dried leaves at a later time. Clearly, dry leaves time a later time. So you're going to be a chacham. You're going to be smart. And you're going to say, well, I'll wait for my dry leaves. I'm sorry. I'll keep my wet leaves, my fresh leaves. Don't make your dry leaves. Dry leaves here. I'm hiding from the air. That doesn't work that way. It works by how you collected it. You collected it as fresh leaves. That's what you collected it for. Therefore, that's how follow the year time for fresh leaves. We keep them. Remember, it says, everything mentioned in this mission. Whether it's like fresh or dry grass, like fresh or dry leaves. They all can be eaten until the second rainfall. The second rainfall is what determines their availability to the animals wild, and that was when the time of year vegetation for deer takes place. Okay, that's Mishna. Okay, say Mishna against swearing falsely regarding denial of money matters. If a person swears falsely to deny a money obligation, we'll see the details of that, has transgressed this prohibition of swearing falsely on denying money. It says, literally translated, it says, don't lie, but a person should lie to his friend. The context of the pasuk means is talking about swearing. So what's the case here? So it comes with a number of details and other conditions. If one person makes a monetary claim against another person, now it's very specific here. The word money has to be something that's considered money, or it's shabbat, it has the value of money. The point is, as the Chachamim in parentheses, if the demand, right, if a person is demanding from you land, he says that's my land, or let's say you're demanding documents. Those documents belong to me. You shouldn't give me those documents. You shouldn't give me those IOUs. That's not the case here that we're talking about. Here we're talking about you are demanding money or an object of value. the value of what you are demanding from a person, what you're claiming against the person has to be the value of a proof until it's the smallest coin in the time of the Mishna. A proof nowadays is very small amount, maybe less than a nickel. Okay. So it's got to be a sugar proof and above. Okay. Here we're laying out where the conditions after that to be considered transgressing the prohibition of lying, of swearing falsely to deny money. Okay. So it has to be money. It has to be at least the value of a pita. Should give you this kind of money that if you were to admit to this person that you owe it, you actually have to be obligated to pay. Now, that comes to include a fine. There are certain things that Torah tells us to pay as a fine. Certain things we have to pay to make up the money that we took from someone who lost not caused them. But then there's something called a knas. It's a fine. It's a fine. It's not a payment or anything. So here again, the case is that the demand is a demand for something. Let me explain it further. And the halacha is that if you owe someone money, because of damages or borrowing or you took something from someone, and you admit to it, you're admitting obligation to pay. You don't need witnesses to tell you to do that, to say this is what happened. You admit. You're admitting this. I'm sure witnesses, the Gemara says. But you admit to something called knas. It's not something that's considered a fine. A lot of things you admit to a fine. So therefore, here the case is, and we'll see an example of that. Okay. Here the case is that you are admitting that a person is demanding from you, claiming against you something that you admit to, you would have to pay for. I'll just give you an example. A lot of it is if you steal something from someone, you're not if you walk into their house, you weren't looking, you stole something from someone. And then you were caught. This is said you stole this thing. And a lot of it is you have to pay, you have to return the stolen object. If you found out this is not, you got to pay for it. You also have to pay double. You also have to give the person you stole from. Again, the value of what you stole. You have to pay the person double value what you stole. It's only going to happen to you if witnesses testify against you that you stole it. Let's say you come forward and say, I admit I stole this person's object. So in principle, you have to pay. The double you don't, because the double is fine. Where a lot is, by not, but if you admit to a fine, you admit to something that's not seen as compensating the person for their money, that is something you admit to by accept that. Here the claim is where the claim is something that if you admit to, you're obligated. It's a regular claim on money of compensation or returning money. If the person made a claim, you didn't deny it, and you made an oath to that fact. Or you should have a kafar. Or the other case is you didn't on your own make the shvua. But it's possible for the person making the claim against whoever it is to actually put an oath on him. Swear that you don't owe me money. And he says, I don't owe you money. Or should have a kafar. Or that the person making the claim put an oath on you. Swear that you didn't borrow the money from me. And you say, I borrowed the money from you. You didn't say, I didn't borrow the money from you. You just reply to the oath that he's not on you. I mean, it's like the person that the claim is made against is liable. If he's caught afterwards, that means that he swore falsely. If he swore falsely, this type of this kind of false oath. Obviously, even though the other person put the oath on him, he didn't even say, Amen is where you affirm what you heard. So all he did was, the person put the oath on him, he just denied. He never said Amen, never said anything that he affirms the oath. Nonetheless, it's considered without saying that the person put an oath on him, and he denied, replied to the oath in denial. That's kind of like the oath. This falls under what they're referring to as an oath regarding an object that's being kept by something. Because it means I deposit something like you keep for me. And now the person who deposited money by someone else, that someone else says, you never give it to me, or I give it back to you. So any time the oath is in regard to denying any kind of monetary payment or obligation, Allah is that one category because the shua of the kept object. Even if it's not a kept object, that's the category of oath that we're talking about. We're talking about when the question is paying back money that is over to somebody else. In that case, that is what this pasuk was mentioned. Now, lie against friend, not swear falsely to his friend. It's what he's talking about. This happens. You're lying. You're swearing false rather. You have to pay every line. You got to pay principal per person plus another fifth of the value. Now, when a person transgresses this prohibition, he transgresses another prohibition, you shall not swear by my name falsely. That pasuk is dealing with another type of oath. Shua speaking means literally means an oath of expression. It means an oath regarding something that can be do. Now we're talking about a question on monetary obligation. Now we need an oath about something that you can do. And you say, well, we'll do it, or won't do it, I did do it, I didn't do it. So it's all about actions that didn't do. So in this case, when the person claims you are money or that I left something by you, you have something of mine, and you say no, you're doing this, and you swear to that. It's Shua speaking also. It's also Shua about did I do something or not do something. So in this case, you actually have transgressing. Now, I said before that this is talking about when something is money and not land or documents. That was less within them. And if you swear falsely, you're going to have to pay the principal of the fifth. Let's say the case is where a person demanded from you real estate or documents, and you swear falsely to that. Although you are exempt from any liability of the oath of the covenant, because for based on words based on the verses of the law of the covenant carries the punishment of principal plus a fifth. It's almost not said regarding to a land of land or documents. So you're exempt from any liability because of that oath. Nonetheless, you are liable for the fact that you lie falsely, speaking, expression, about you do something, you didn't do something. At the end of the day, you swore falsely about that. So the transgression of don't swear falsely, which is what speaking to about swearing falsely regarding an act that you didn't do. That you transgressed because you said I didn't take the land. I returned the document, whatever it is. Although it's not Shua Pardon, it's going to be Shua falls under this other category of oath and doesn't carry the same liability of the principal plus a fifth. At the end of the day, you swore falsely, you transgressed swearing falsely, and of course, you now go ahead and return that you swore falsely. You're going to have to again give back land, give back documents. But by the both places of all kinds, crime famous both men and women. Have a wonderful day and a wonderful Shabbos.